Welcome to the Future Jam. I'm Mike, and I'm here with Alex again, and it's getting closer and closer to Christmas. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
You excited?
I am. I like Christmas, unlike you. You know, all my Christmas shopping's done, and just need to wrap everything.
I think it kind of snuck up on us this year because it seems like just yesterday it was March.
I don't think so. I think it comes around the same time each year.
Maybe I was in a coma the whole time.
You know, but like we have that lead up because it doesn't sneak up there because you have your Halloween and then you have your Thanksgiving.
But yeah, I do like Christmas because this is a good time of year for like beer and stuff like that. I got a Christmas pickle beer that was pretty delicious.
Oh, I always go with the same Christmas beer, the Great Lakes Christmas Ale. It's one of my favorite beers.
Yeah, I hear that's pretty good, but I didn't even know Christmas pickle beer was a thing, and then I looked at it further. I didn't know that pickle ornaments were a thing. So the whole rabbit hole that I went down.
Yeah, you're supposed to hide the pickle in the tree, and then whoever finds the pickle gets something.
Where is this from? Like, what culture does this?
I've been doing a lot of Christmas research lately for our upcoming podcast. Germany is my guess. Seems like a lot of stuff comes from Germany.
That makes sense. There's a lot of German folks around this area.
Yeah, and they like their pickles.
Who doesn't like pickles, honestly?
My dad hates them with a passion.
Well, we're not going to talk about your dad on this episode. I'm sorry.
I thought this was my dad's special episode to him.
We'll save that for Father's Day. We'll say a bunch of nice stuff about your dad on Father's Day.
I have a list of 2 things, so.
So I know you probably don't travel a lot like during Christmas time, like at least down to Florida to Disney World, but that's like one of your favorite places to go, right?
We are actually going next year, the week after Thanksgiving, to go to
Serious?
Disney World. Yep, me, my family, and my dad and mom are going down together.
So I missed this by 1 year then, so I guess you do go during this time of year.
It's the first time. We just want to see all the Christmas stuff.
I didn't know they even decorated up for Christmas.
They go all out.
But yeah, I saw that Disney has tried some crazy stuff with their cameras on the ride cameras, and I thought that was probably dumb tech of the week material.
So yeah, what Disney was doing was digitally adding masks to people's pictures that weren't wearing the mask on the ride. Because with COVID going on right now, Disney, you have to wear a mask at all time unless you're sitting down and eating. And so but Disney has this thing called Photo Pass where you pay and you get all the ride pictures, and they have different people around the parks that take pictures in front of different things for you, and they upload it to your app, so you have all these pictures and you can download them. So, but people were taking their masks off for the rides, so Disney couldn't release these pictures because they don't want to be like, oh, if you just take off your mask during the ride, you'll still get your pictures. So they just weren't releasing them, and now they're digitally adding them to people's faces. Well, they just stopped that after the news broke.
The claim was that people were actually asking for this feature. Like, please throw a mask on my face so it looks like I'm obeying the rules, but I'm not.
Well, yeah, because they just weren't giving the pictures out. So, the one article I read, there was a person not in no party, but they were in the back of the car, and the people in the front of the car were wearing the mask. The person in the back wasn't. So, they weren't able to get their pictures because the person in the back wasn't wearing their mask.
And this way, that way people can feel secure but not actually be secure. I think they should also Photoshop, people's masks on their faces while they're eating, too. Maybe, I don't know how they could do that, but maybe everybody could wear AR glasses, Well,
that's the future, and then you don't have to leave your house.
Yeah, you don't have to wear a mask. It just looks like you're wearing a mask. I think that's the future.
Yeah, I agree.
You're too tired to not agree.
No,
so.
I'm good.
Let's jump into our first story of the week. You're a parent. I'm not, and you saw this Xbox parental controls news story, and you thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so Microsoft launched their app in the summer, but they just updated that now parents can lock screen times on the Xbox. So you could do it now on the Kindle and the iPad and all, where you can say you you have the next hour and then it will lock after that and it'll say time's up for the day. But now parents could do it on the phone for the Xbox. So if a kid's not doing their homework or not spending time with their family or going outside to kick rocks or something like that, they can lock the Xbox up.
So the parents can just basically tell the Xbox, don't allow my kid to get on here at all. Like,
yeah, or they can limit it like they have an hour of playtime today. And then once that hour's up, it will lock.
Again, I guess this is the future where the kids have the TVs in their rooms, and so parents don't really have much control over what their kids do with their own stuff, so they have to come up with these roundabout ways of doing things.
Yeah, when we were growing up, we had the PlayStation on only in like our main living area.
Yeah, same here. Like, you wouldn't be able to do this because your parents could see you and say, hey, go outside, Mike. Go outside and play. Don't play video games.
Or they don't want to watch you play video games. Because like when we were growing up, we would have to wake up like super early in the morning on Saturday and Sunday because we can only play on the weekends and sneak down and play before anybody else woke up.
Yeah, I would do stuff like that as well. But still, like, what did parents have against video games? It seems like parents now like don't care, play as much as you want as if you have your homework done. Like,
I think it's a generational thing because we grew up with video games, so we don't mind like our kids playing video games. Our parents didn't grow up with video games, so like my parents didn't care, but they just didn't want to sit there and watch us play. I don't blame them.
Yeah, for me, if the weather was nice outside, I was outside. If it was raining, then that was a day I could play video games or watch TV. So, kids have it so much easier nowadays, and now they have to avoid this stupid app.
Another cool thing with the app, which I think I would actually use as a parent, is limiting in-game purchases. So, like, if somebody wants to buy something in the game, it will go to the parent's phone and say approve or deny, which is good because you always hear stories of kids running up giant bills because of buying these in-app purchases for these games.
Yeah, that's happened more times than I can remember. I've had a couple friends tell me stories like that where my kid accidentally signed me up for the ESPN Plus. God forbid anybody sign up for ESPN Plus.
But like, I think that's a good thing, and it's like they also have like if there's a gift card on file, like the account, they can use the gift card. But once it gets to credit card purchases, they would have to get approval.
So what's funny is that's a good way to sneak through a game your parents won't let you buy. You buy it with the gift card so that way they don't see what you're buying. So that's the loophole right there because Microsoft doesn't actually want you to not buy their stuff. They just want to make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, they want to be seen as like responsible. It's the same thing with Disney with the mask. They want to seem like they're doing everything to protect their clients and all. And they don't want to be like, oh, this person spent $10,000 on Xbox in-game purchases.
I'm sure they'd refund it at that point, but maybe not if, you never know. You might have to go to court over that or dispute it.
Oh, yeah, because I think the ones like on like the apps on like your phone or the tablet, like they have to pay those. They're already paid up.
So you ready to jump on to the next topic?
Yeah, let's go.
Beyond Meat and what's the other big brand right now?
Impossible.
Those are the two big ones. They're basically just plant-based burgers.
Yes.
Fancier plant-based burgers, I guess. The old ones didn't taste anything like meat, and the newer ones taste a lot more. We've covered this in the past, but there's a company that got approved to sell lab-grown meat, which is completely different than plant-based meat. And lab-grown meat is where they take cells out of the chicken. Live chicken, I guess maybe I don't know. What do you think they
said they took it out because you can extract cells from a living thing and not kill it. So they extract the cells from a chicken and then grew the meat in a bioreactor. And it's the company that just got approved is Eat Just, and their product Chicken Bites is what got approved in Singapore by their Food Administration. So like. And there's a lot of companies that are doing this now. They start growing these meats. But like this is like the first time they've been approved. And they're coming.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty hard to do because they said that the price is going to be really expensive, and until they work out all the kinks in the manufacturing process, that it's going to take a lot of time to get like a streamlined approach to where it's cheaper and actually replacing meat.
Well, yeah, they say at first it's going to be more expensive, but as like the demand rises up for it, it's going to get cheaper than regular meat. So in the long run, they think it will be cheaper than meat, but then it's also like the environmental benefits of it, and also not killing animals for your meat.
Yeah, I saw that 130 million chickens are slaughtered every year.
Yeah, and 4 million pig. No, a day. I thought it said a day.
Oh, day. Oh, dang. You're right.
Yeah,
I
no.
thought 130 million chickens a year was a lot, but a day? Oh, wow.
And 4
That's a
million
lot of
pigs
chickens.
a day. That's like you don't really think about that number when you're buying your chicken nuggets or your tenders from Tendertown or Cane's.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess you don't. That's not something you would think about. And I think if it tastes just as good, then I don't think many people would really complain about it.
Well, they said it's gonna be it's gonna be just as healthy, or if not a little bit more healthy than, because it's gonna be more organic than the ones that are injected with like steroids and things like that. Mostly
Yeah.
like the processed meat that we eat. So they said they can make it healthier, and it's really because I guess 60% of the world mammals are livestock, which I had no idea. So like it's just like a ton of animals, and like the carbon footprint that goes into making meat, and meat's really not that healthy for you. They said we eat more meat than we really should, which
Yeah, we do.
I mean I love meat.
Yeah, I can't eat a meal without having some sort of meat with it. I'm probably the part of the problem, honestly.
Yeah,
But I would be a customer of this if it tasted good, and I would move my habits over to something like this as long as it was better for the environment. And I would even pay a little bit more money, but I probably wouldn't pay double for chicken that was grown in a lab somewhere.
well, once the price gets down, they're projecting by 2040 that most of the meat we would eat wouldn't come from dead animals. So it would be this lab grown meat.
I would like to see it. I don't know if the proof's in the pudding yet, but I'd say let's check back in with this type of thing. I'd say maybe 5 years it'll be pretty popular. I guess Impossible and Beyond Meat really took off pretty fast. So if a company like that can push it, then yeah, I could see it catching on, I guess.
Well, it's going to have to get approved by like the FDA and like the government and all, but then you're going to have to go against the big cattle ranchers and all. Like
Yeah, I'm sure
those
they're going to try to
lobbyists.
block it and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's gonna. I also think the name calling it chicken bites doesn't sound appealing.
Nope, not in the least bit. And the name Meat Just,
Eat just.
Eat Just. Yeah, sounds kind of too holier than thou.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's just like, just make it just like lab meat or something. Lab meat sounds terrible.
That sounds terrible. Sterile meat.
Let's call it like Tyson.
Tyson. Yeah,
You
I
know,
think that would work. That would work.
but
I'm sure they have their hands in this as well.
oh yeah, I'm sure if they see like the writing on the wall with the kind of money they have, they'll move over to that. I mean, if it tastes the same and it's healthy for me, I don't see why not.
Let's just be fair. Like, I don't think I'm worried too much about the health part of it. As long as it's not like egregiously worse, I'm good.
No, my body's a temple, Mike.
As we've been over this before, your body is one of the leading temples in America. People travel from coast to coast to come to your temple.
Hey, I'm on the top 10 list of places to see in America.
You are. There's a big billboard out in Cincinnati if you drive through the city. Yeah, go ahead.
No, this says home of Alex Maloney's body, the Temple of Cincinnati.
And let's jump on to our next story. And I'm not a huge Facebook user as I once was, but I have seen shady looking ads, and I've clicked on ads thinking it was one thing, and then once you get to the actual like web page, you're like looking into it further, and it's definitely a scam. And I think it was BuzzFeed that did an investigative journalism piece on Facebook, and basically they've discovered that Facebook is not really vetting their ads very well at all. Like, if an ad gets flagged for being misleading or fraudulent, Facebook kind of probably 9 times out of 10 will just overlook it because they don't want to miss out on that ad revenue.
Yeah, it's just like reading the article, and this is like Facebook says like, we don't care. As long as we get the money, we can say we're looking into it, but we don't care. And they said Facebook made $21 billion last year from ad revenue. So you can see why they don't care.
And they're not the only ones doing this, because I'm a kind of big into liking TikTok stuff. And even on TikTok, I get bombarded with ads, and one of the most recent ones I got bombarded with was this Bluetooth speaker. And they keep screenshotting this reviewer on YouTube that reviewed this speaker, and it's probably the size of like a football. And it emits really heavy bass, and it sounds really good. And it goes for like $1,500 to $1,000. And this company was selling a speaker that looked identical to it, and we're selling it for like $60. And I saw a bunch of comments on the video and saying that they actually got it, and it was like only 3 inches tall. Like, it was a little miniature plastic speaker that sounded nothing like the video they were putting on their ad, and only looked like sort of like it.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're only paying $60 for it, you kind of have to realize it's not what you're wanting.
Yeah, but they were using the YouTube of that review as like, this is the product you're getting. And I'm sure if they would have looked into it, that's definitely fraudulent or falsely, like misleading.
Yeah, it's misleading because they're using this to advertise another thing. Well, I was looking at Facebook one day, and they had Graco car seats. I have a baby, so I get baby ads, and it was like Graco car seat for $50. Usually, like the cheapest you see them is maybe like on like a really good sale, maybe $100, but $50, and there's like some website I never heard of, and I was like, this seems like a scam. So I tried this like to Google the website, and it didn't exist. And then I went back into Facebook, and it's another company doing the same exact ad. Like, there's limited time deal, Graco. I was like, this is just a giant scam. And then you see
it's probably like a counterfeit product or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and like it was like the same ad. And like I saw like 3 times scrolling through all different websites. And you see people reshare it, and like, yeah, this is just a scam. Like, yeah, for one, you have to vet anything you're buying.
Especially on Facebook, I guess, now. So don't trust anything you buy off of Facebook, TikTok, any of those websites. Yeah,
they don't care.
Well, one of the clothing websites I looked at on Facebook, they had terrible reviews, and I looked into it, and they said they changed the name of their clothing store like every month because they get such bad reviews and their products are so bad, they just change it and relaunch the same products under a different name. And I don't know if that's illegal or not, but still, like, don't trust Facebook. It's not your best source for anything.
Well, that's like, and even like Amazon, if you're buying anything online, you just need to vet what you're buying. Read all the reviews, see if it see if the price is too good to be true, or
still the Wild Wild West.
It really is, and like this stuff is so hard. Like a lot of times, it's so hard to track down who actually posted it, who stole like your money and all, and like that's why, like, I don't know, it's hard to like trust like websites you've never heard of.
Yeah, and what's funny is that I feel like our government is way behind on the internet, so the internet is getting away with a lot of things that regular businesses cannot.
Well, you saw like when they had like the Apple and like Facebook execs on in front of like the Senate and Congress. They have no idea how half this stuff works.
No, they ask funny questions. If you ever want to get a good laugh, watch one of those hearings.
What was the one with the Apple guy, like the senator, like my granddaughter was able to find this thing, like bad mouthing him. Like, what do you have to do with that? And it was like the Apple exec. He's like, it was on a website. Nothing we do.
That's probably why they don't like going to those things. Like the executives from Apple, like only go if they're like forced by like law. Like if you don't come to this hearing, you're going to get arrested. So they don't like going because our government has no clue how any of this stuff works.
No, and it's not like an actual business where they can understand like the model and all. Because like you're looking at Airbnb, it's like I think they're about to go public, and it's like the highest stock. They're gonna go public for like one of the highest stocks ever, and it's the same thing that happened with like Facebook and Twitter, where they go really high and they go public, and then they actually see like how much money these companies make, and it's not as much as they think, and like the price always crashes after it goes live.
That's why Facebook is nickel and diming us with these ads.
Yeah. I just don't think a lot of people in like the business world understands the internet world yet. It's going to get there. But
it's going to be a while, and I guess until people our age or younger actually get elected to office, then that's probably when we're gonna start seeing government actually pay attention to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, and actually understand a lot of it.
All right, let's jump into our next story, and a big thing going forward is getting rid of our reliance on fossil fuels, right?
Yes.
And Tesla is huge, and they're growing. They're probably, like you said, companies not knowing what value they should be. Tesla is like the most valuable car maker in the world, but they don't sell as many cars as all the other car makers in the world. So I guess that's like based on like their future positioning, possibly. I don't know, but batteries are the key for the future of electric vehicles, obviously, and they're pretty bad right now.
Yeah, they are. Like that's the biggest issue with them right now. Is like the car itself is fine. It's how long can these cars run? How safe is the battery? How fast can it charge?
Yeah, I think everybody always said don't buy early when Tesla first came out. They said don't buy Tesla because it'll wreck and catch on fire. And I think there were a couple Teslas that were like burning on the side of the road because the old style lithium ion batteries are pretty unstable, and they've done a lot to make them better over the years and less fires. And there's still a lot of regulations around shipping lithium ion batteries. But Toyota just announced that they have worked hard on a new type of battery called a solid state battery.
Yeah, so it's a new battery that has a lower risk of fires, and it's a smaller battery with a greater density to create energy. So it's going to be smaller than the lithium ions because right now they are decent size batteries.
Yeah,
they're going to be smaller and get more power from there.
Yeah, I was actually curious about this because I'm like, why don't we have solid state batteries already? And I believe we do in certain like applications. And solid state batteries are technically lithium ion batteries. It's just, and the big difference between lithium ion and solid state is lithium ion is a liquid electrolytic like substance solution. And solid state is a solid electrolytic. So that means, I guess, the solid one is more stable and can go up to, like you said, higher temperatures, less chance of fire, more densely packed, can hold more power. I was wondering why they didn't use these before, and it's just because they're so hard to manufacture.
Yeah, and as technology gets better, we're going to be able to manufacture more and better batteries. And like the battery itself, they said can go up to 310 miles on a charge, and then they said they can charge from 0 to 100% in 10 minutes.
That's actually a huge jump over what they currently have.
Which and then it would be great because like right now my car gets like 400 miles per for the tank.
Per gallon, that's pretty great.
Yeah, I don't need an electric car. But
yeah, you don't.
For a tank, and like, you think when like I take on like long road trips, like when I'm filling up, I stop and I walk around or get something to eat. So like you have 10 minutes to usually kill. So like you can charge these and take them on the road trip. It would be amazing if it only taking 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest drawback whenever I mention electric cars to anybody. They're like, what am I going to do on a road trip? Like, I guess once they push past that barrier, people will easily jump into an electric car. But people are still... how many road trips do people even go on, honestly? Like, most people keep their car in the city. So I don't know why people are so fixated on this one, like, stat line. But it's important for the industry to move forward.
Yeah, and I think I go on more road trips than you. We like to drive places. We go on like, I would say one like every like 3 months or 4 months. But especially like my parents live in Philadelphia, so when we go to visit them, like we wouldn't make it on one charge with these batteries. But if it can charge in 10 minutes.
That's true. Do you know how many miles it is to get to Philadelphia from here?
I should know.
Yeah.
I do the drive like twice a year. I want to say like 500 and something.
How long did it take to drive up there, I guess?
It's like 9 to 10 hours. But like if we could do this and like that's like your stop is charging your car, it'd be great.
Yeah, it's 572 miles. So if you had like one of the newer Teslas, that's one fill up. Because those typically have around 290 to 350 range.
I saw just the new electric Mustang could do 300 miles on a charge.
And over that period of time, like how many times do you stop?
I stop a decent amount with my family, but last time I drove by myself, I only stopped once.
Okay, so if you're in a rush, definitely gas cars are better. But if you're going to stop like once or twice anyways, I think the Teslas can get like 100 miles in 10 minutes. So if you stopped on a trip maybe 2 or 3 times just to walk around for 10, 15 minutes, you could easily get up to Philly.
Well, like when I stopped, like I had to go to the bathroom. I got myself some food.
Yeah.
And I stretched my legs for a little bit. Like 10 minutes isn't going to break your time.
Yeah, I think it's just like the added stress of having to think of like where do I stop and what happens if I get stranded. Like I think just that added stress is what kills like electric cars for a lot of people.
My only question is, does the gas light still come on, or is it like a little battery now that pops up and saying you only got like 40 miles left?
Probably. It's probably stressfully beeping and buzzing at you and shocking your hands and poking you in the elbow with something like.
Yeah, there's no scarier feeling than the gas light coming on.
No, there is not, and I have only run out of gas like once or twice, and it's a pain in the butt. And I can only imagine how hard it is to take care of your car if you run out of electricity. You have to tow it to a shop and get it charged.
Could you? I imagine eventually they'll have like portable battery chargers.
You would think.
Because you have like the portable ones now, like the people can jump somebody, like if it could like charge your battery for like 50 miles.
Yeah, but that's such a small battery compared to what's in your vehicle. I don't think you're going to get you're probably going to just get it powered on enough to turn the radio on.
Well, I think like if they can get it so you can go like, because the average gas station isn't that far away, right? So if you do like 20 or 30 miles on it.
That would be nice, yeah.
Or you can have like the ones that have like the hand crank that goes and then you turn it.
I think you'd be cranking all night long. Because you always, I always hear the horror stories of people leaving their Tesla at the airport. And what people don't realize is if your car is at 20% battery life, it will continue to lose charge when it's parked. It doesn't get completely shut off. So people will leave on like a 2-week trip, come back, and their car's dead, and they'll have to get it towed. So that's another thing people don't even think about when they get electric vehicle. And I personally want an electric car, but I think there's a lot of hurdles for the common person to like get one.
Yeah, like I could see getting one really just to drive around the city, but I want to yet take it on like a long road trip.
But instead of like going on a road trip, how about flying into space?
The final frontier.
The final frontier. Is that something you'd be ever interested in?
I always thought about like, would I rather go to space or underwater in like a submarine? And I'd much rather go to space.
I'm actually the opposite of you. I'd probably rather go into a submarine as long as they had like those cool like glass windows you can see like sharks and stuff.
No, not me. I don't want to see giant squid and no thing. It's too many creepy stuff in the sea.
You never watched 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? the old Disney movie where they had a giant squid attack them?
I've seen the scene. I've never seen the whole movie. But like I have no desire to go in the ocean. But I would go into space just like to float around for like 10 minutes and come back down.
But would you pay to go on Richard Branson's new Virgin space plane?
Virgin Galactic space.
Yeah, Galactus. Why? It's such a terrible name. But anyways.
Yeah, if I had the money, I think I might like people do like hot air balloon for like their 50th or something like that. I'd rather go to space than climb a mountain.
So yeah, the Virgin Galactus or however Galactic. Okay.
Galactus is the bad guy from Fantastic Four, the Eater of Worlds.
You're right. They announced that they're doing final tests on their space plane, and I guess they've already sold 600 tickets for this thing.
Yeah, I saw Justin Bieber has one. Leo DiCaprio bought a ticket. I think Lance Bass is a big one for it.
Yeah, I find it funny that the Richard Branson, the founder, he's not going on any of these initial test flights. He's going on the third one. So he's like, if this fails the first or second time, heck no. But the third time, I'm in this.
Well, little known fact about the Wright brothers, they didn't get on the first couple planes. They let somebody else do it.
They're like they found a hobo on the side of the road and they're like, hey, would you like to? Hey, sir, would you like to fly?
Can you want a nickel to go in here? Yeah, so they listed a test flight, and they have 3 more to go on before they do like their first launch, which they're planning in 2021. But yeah, so Richard Branson will be on the last test flight to prove it's safe. But it sounds cool. They have like each seat has a big window so you can see out of, and then when you get to space, you can float around. And then there's a big mirror in the back of the shuttle that you can see yourself floating around.
I didn't see that, so because they know a lot of vain people are going up there, so they definitely want to see themselves in a mirror.
If you're floating around in space, I would want to see it.
Well, I think it's mainly for selfies, right? So they get not selfies, but like shooting a picture of themselves in the mirror. I guarantee that's what the mirror's for.
I don't know. Would they be able to take stuff up when they go up there?
Probably. Or unless the mirror's there, so like, Bieber can like look at himself, fix his hair.
Well, yeah, you can see yourself floating.
Yeah.
Woo! You think it's gonna be like any museum you go to or aquarium where they take your picture in front of like a green screen first, and then you get on your space shuttle trip, and then you can when you come back down, you can buy it. They have it in like the plastic bag. Like, oh, do you want to see yourself with this back, man?
I want to hear like what people's actual experiences are in this, because I don't know what the big deal is. It's not really going into actual space. It's like low.
They're going over like the Spaceport America, which I don't know what that is.
Who knows?
I mean, I would do it. Like, they say you went to space,
but I don't think it's actually space. I think it's like low
orbit.
Low orbit, yeah. I don't think it's really considered space.
Well, it's enough to get you weightless, right?
Yeah, enough to get you weightless. So maybe that's all they care is they just want to be weightless for a little bit. Especially if you're rich and you feel like you're too heavy anyways. Yeah, this could boost your ego. Spaceport
America is like the name of the building that it's launching from. Which I think you'll be able to see the world like when you're up there.
That's true. I'm sure the visual is amazing and it probably feels awesome. And I'll never afford it. So maybe that's why I'm pooping on it.
I don't know. Maybe Hannah will get you a ticket for Christmas.
Dear Hannah, please get me a Virgin Galactic.
Well, they say it's like 250,000.
No, it's not bad. I can sell our house and get 3 extra jobs. Maybe I could start a GoFundMe.
I'm surprised you don't want to go to space.
Oh, I would. I would rather go to a planet or a moon. Like if they said, "Hey, would you like to go to Mars and just stay up there permanently?" I'd be one of the first people to go to Mars.
No desire to go to a different planet.
It'd probably get boring pretty fast, honestly.
I don't know. I have no desire like to meet aliens or anything like that.
Do you really think there's aliens just walking around on Mars, like waiting for people to show up?
Yeah. I saw this documentary where they attacked the United States. It was called
Again,
Mars
you
Attacks.
have lots of problems with understanding what's the difference between a documentary and a movie.
Maybe not on Mars, but there's aliens out there somewhere probably. Well, didn't like the government pseudo admit to UFOs, but
I think maybe just space is a far less interesting than we made it out to be.
well, yeah, it's not going to be like Star Wars, but
Like Earth is beautiful, it has like lots of different fauna and creatures and different like biomes, and the moon is just a hunk of dirt.
well, that's why it's a moon, not a planet.
Yeah, and Mars is just a red planet.
I don't know. Any other topics you want to talk about, Mike?
No, I think we're all topiced out. So that was the last story of the night, and we're going to be having a very special Christmas episode. We're going to do our top 3 favorite Christmas movies. We're going to have a special guest on, Nate, a friend that's been on this show before, and I think we've been on a show with him before. I don't think it really matters, honestly, because we're going to have him, and he's going to be great. So he has a pretty good pedigree. He's a radio announcer. So
why are we hyping up Nate? He's just a guy.
I just thought it would be a cool idea to hype Nate up because he doesn't get the love he deserves sometimes.
He's just a guy who loves Christmas.
A man who loves Christmas.
Unlike Mike, who hates Christmas.
I'll feed into that narrative, but yeah, thanks for listening to the show. You can find us at The Future Jam on Facebook, Instagram, Twitters. And we have a phone number. You should probably call us and give us a story idea or questions or comments, complaints. 859-BOC-COLA. I'd love to hear from you guys.
Everybody have a good night. Or day.